Boy, you know you make me float. Boy, you really get me high. Ooh, you're my dope. That's you.
Hey y'all, we're back. We're Black and Curious. I'm Kandron.
Hey now, it's your girl Dehjai, and we're here for another week.
Yeah. So this week, this episode, we would like to talk about fake nice guys. We have seen a lot of them on our TV screen this particular week. And so I would like to talk about it.
Before we get into it, what you drinking?
I made a little concoction, a little blueberry basil smash.
Listen, can't you be talking about me and the bougie cocktails? Okay. This bitch just said she has a blueberry and basil smash. Like, what the hell is that?
Well, here's the thing. The difference between you and I is I lean into my bouginess on the cocktails. I have a whole cocktail set about it. Okay.
Okay. I'll give you that.
A cocktail set, a full bar, I lean in. You over there being like, I don't know. No, it ain't really that. No, I lean the fuck in. So I am having a blueberry basil smash, like I said. No, it's just blueberries and basil with some bourbon and some ginger ale bold.
Okay.
Very good.
It sounds delicious. So on today's kitchen chemistry, have another
Go with that vodka, huh?
Yes, I'm almost done, but this is fucking delicious. So this is just like mangoes, blackberries, I think it was some strawberries and some peaches in there, and a little of my coconut almond milk and a splash of the nasty vodka. But you don't taste it. It tastes delicious. So
yes. And in other chemistry news, I over gelled my hair. So if you see some little white flecks, you're gonna have to get over it and forgive me. Okay, moving on. So yes, we're here to talk about fake nice guys. So this past week, the Married at First Sight reunion, it was just so much. It was just so much. I'm ready for part 2. Bravo, take notes because the girls down to Lifetime are giving reunion. Okay. So Zack and Michaela, for those that are watching MAFS, Zack and Michaela are kind of a mess because she is very like destructive and like her sister calls her Hurricane K, and she's very like explosive with her reactions. And Zack sometimes comes out looking like he's the better person in this situation because he's not blowing up and throwing things. But I am noticing a trend with him, and it's that he is a perfectionist and he is a fake nice guy. He is very much concerned. And when I say fake nice guy, for me, what it means is he is very much concerned about how he appears and how things look on him versus how it affects other people.
Okay.
And so he's telling Michaela like, oh, I want to get a divorce, but I kind of still want to work at it, like maybe we can start over or whatever. And he's giving her this entire like spiel in this speech, and come to find out after decision day, they continue like messing around, they continue sort of dating, but he clearly doesn't want to be with her. And so he's telling her like, oh, well, we'll just be friends or whatever. And it's leading her on.
Yeah, I have experience in this. Carry on.
Well, tell me about your experience, because I also have real life experience with this.
So we call him the doctor. I met him probably at like a tragic point in my life. My aunt had passed, who I was really, really close to. And then after we buried her, 2 weeks later, I was out with friends and met him. For all intents and purposes, he's a good guy. We just weren't gonna be together at any point. Even when it was clear that like we had fallen, like equally had fallen in love with one another, because he had been a part of my life from 26 up to I think last year. And we had like, you know, the gray area. He was someone who wasn't necessarily ready to be in a relationship and didn't really want to be in a relationship. I also realized that he didn't really know who he was. And he was trying to like figure that out and come to some sort of like self-understanding or self-actualization, but he didn't have the language to really say that. And throughout the 10 plus years, we were friends. He actually became like a best friend. And like I think that I don't experience him as, and maybe something wrong with me, right? But I don't necessarily experience him as like being a bad person or being like the negative things that are attached to him. But I had to come to grips within myself, like, it's never going to be any different than what it is. This is always going to be what it is. And and it's up to me to get off this roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
And in doing that, like it took a really long time because I had this realization in 2019 or 2018, I think it was. Yeah, so it took like 2 years. We had this conversation in like December of 2018 because like I had come home for the holidays, and in typical him fashion, he showed up to like take me out to dinner and for us to like go and do whatever. And we always were gray in the sense that like, no, there were points where we weren't physically intimate and we weren't dating. But then there were points where we clearly were dating and then it was just in the middle. And 2018, December that year was one of those times. And I was just kind of like, you know, I guess I got tired of getting to the point of like, why doesn't this work? Like this is perfect on paper. Why isn't it working like between us? And it wasn't working because he didn't want it to work. Right. He liked what it was, but just never was saying that. And so I remember distinctly, which is just crazy, when we first met, like, are you gonna nice guy me? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, you know, the nice guy foolishness where you act like you like me, but you don't really like me like that. You just like having me around as like arm candy and whatever the case may be. And I genuinely have feelings and affections towards you eventually. And you never have that. It's just like, oh, she's cool. I just like having her around, but you don't ever explicitly state what it really is.
Yeah.
And like 8 years later, I realized that. And then it took me another 2 years to really just be like, okay, I can't have you around. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think my experience is a little bit different in that it's a lot of times people telling you what it is, but then acting very differently. And then always having that safe harbor of, well, I told you up front.
Which
and
is
it's
bullshit.
like, but your actions didn't match. And that's to me, like, I was just like, nah, we don't do that anymore. Like, I had to get to a point where it was very much, you know, we don't do that anymore. You just really fluffed that and made it,
I know,
not worse, but different and more of what you didn't want, I think.
I know. I was like, okay, we're gonna get it together. It just looked really flat. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna fluff while we're talking. And then it's because it's opposite on this thing. So I hope you remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
all right, sorry y'all. Don't get distracted by Dehjai and her hair.
But yeah, so I just think people who do that kind of stuff, it's very manipulative and it's very unkind. And for people who pride themselves on being honest and being the nice guy and like, I'm just going to, you know, be as open as I can, and then you're just doing something completely else, like your actions and your words are not matching, and you know that, like, you know it's not matching. So the fact that you're still doing it, like, that negates whatever kindness or niceness that you thought you were doing. Like it's fake. It gives fake.
Yeah. And so like, I wonder too, like being on the other side of it, like for the situation that I had, right? If I think, and I cannot speak for him, right? Of course. But in conversations that we had, like, towards the end of things, he admitted that he was in love with me, but he just wasn't ready for like the weight or the levity that those feelings carried.
Yeah.
And I told him I dubbed from him like calling it the Peter Pan syndrome, like you never want to grow up.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know, I guess like where I'm going is I wonder in those situations with men who operate and move as he did, it's like a disservice to themselves as much as it is a disservice to the recipient of their bullshit. It's just kind of like that has to hurt, that people always end up leaving you because you don't have the language to really express what it is that you want and who it is that you are, like how you want to show up.
Yeah.
And I think that like that lack of knowing who they are is like a major like pain point, in the sense that like that's what stops things from progressing forward. And also I would dare say that it also accounts for like a lack of accountability, or a lack of awareness in a way that means that they cannot communicate, you know, like what it is. Because he never was one to be like, well, I told you up front. He didn't do that.
Yeah.
Because it was like you said, the words don't match the actions, and like your actions are saying that you want way more than you are ready to like have, but then at the same token, it's like you can't be in limbo forever.
Yeah. So I think another person or character, if you will, who exudes this fake nice guy is Lawrence from Insecure, and we will get back to him. We're gonna do a separate episode on Insecure, but yeah, like Lawrence is a classic fake nice guy where he cares a lot about appearances. He cares about going with Condola to the baby shower and looking like the perfect dad and all of this stuff. Meanwhile, the communication is not good. Y'all are not agreeing on anything. Like it doesn't match. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the path to hell is paved with good intentions. And I swear, fake guys, not fake nice guys, always allegedly have good intentions. And I'm just saying that that's
you rarely hit me that hard, but like I was not ready.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you have a point. So it's funny that we're going to be talking about Lawrence and Insecure soon. My situation gives me Lawrence.
Yeah.
Which is why I felt the way, if you guys watched our Insecure review and I was talking about how I was all in my feelings, it was literally because of that. Because I was Issa in the sense of like feeling like at some point deep down on the inside, we're gonna get together and it's all gonna fucking work out. And then it just fucking crashed and burned.
It does not.
Like we can't even be, well, I cannot even be friends with him at this point.
Yeah. So anyways, that's pretty much it. You guys comment, sound off below. Tell us, have you encountered a fake nice guy? What did you do in the situation? Oh, one more thing. Let me just be clear. I am not saying I do not want honesty. I very much want honesty, but I want honesty to match actions.
Hello.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Like, don't bullshit yourself, and me included.
Correct.
Because like that, well, I said what I told you what it was up front. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's fine to say what it is up front. That's fine too. But your actions have to match your words. Like that's all.
That'd be the part.
We're asking. That's all we're asking.
So, fellas, if you are listening, please take heed.
Doing that.
Like
it's not nice, and you aren't nice. You're mean and
manipulative. You think you're being nice, but you're not.
You're not. So anyways, like I said, sound off below. Let us know if you've had any experiences with fake nice guys. Love
or
to
Peter
hear.
Panning syndrome. He don't ever want to grow up. He's a Toy R Us kid.
Okay. Drop down in the comments and let us know. Anyways, follow us everywhere, Black and Curious. All the information's down below, along with our cocktails and our beauty deets. Talk to you next time. Bye.
Boy, you know you make me float. Boy, you really get me high.